through, stating that if you are a minor, it is 15 and under, not 16 and 17. So today, I'm calling out these 5 assembly members in the San Diego Assembly delegation. I want San Diegans to know that these 5 assembly members are okay with selling the children of our state out for their own political self-aggrandizement, selling the children out for the buyers, backing the buyers in this state of sex versus the kids. 1, Assemblywoman Lachey Sharp Collins. Secondly, Assembly Member David Alvarez.
Shame on
Chris
you.
Ward represents my assembly district, voted against minors, 16, 17-year-olds yesterday. Tasha Boner voted against minors yesterday. Darshana Patel voted against minors
Shame on
yesterday. That I'm arguing, and others are arguing, that minors should be minors. Just ask
Common
yourself
sense.
that question.
Greetings and welcome to Wolf Kage Los Angeles. Today we have some deeply disturbing developments here in California and across the nation. Developments that demand our full attention. First up, we have California State Senator Scott Weiner. This man is now pushing back against a bill, SB 379, that would have made it a felony to buy sex from 16 and 17-year-olds. Let that sink in. A bill designed to protect minors from exploitation. It's being resisted by Scott Weiner. He argues that it could unfairly impact so-called Romeo and Juliet scenarios, like an 18-year-old paying a 17-year-old girlfriend for sex. Let's be real. That's not what this bill is about. That's not what is at stake here. This is about drawing a clear line between right and wrong and protecting children. Weiner and others like him seem more interested in blurring that line, bending moral standards in the name of social justice. Californians and Americans across the country are outraged because we didn't ask for this. Yet laws like these continue to be introduced. They continue to be passed and defended by people who are supposed to represent us, I thought. It feels like we're living in a fantasy, a land of pure imagination where truth is relative and reason no longer matters. And if you disagree, then you're the one they try to criminalize. What we are witnessing isn't leadership. It's ideology. It's imagination gone rogue. These lawmakers should be held accountable. Some of them do not belong in office, and quite frankly, some belong behind bars.
Elizabeth, why did a majority of California Democrats strip that key provision from a human sex trafficking bill, AB 379, that would have made it an automatic felony to buy sex from a 16 or 17-year-old child? There's that 18, 17-year-old argument as well. Senator Weiner brought it up, saying that like sending an 18-year-old high school senior to state prison for offering his 17-year-old classmate $20 to fool around isn't smart criminal justice policy. That's a quote from his X account. And he goes on to say that that's what some people are effectively advocating for in this misleading debate. So first of all, ew. Like, I didn't even know this happened in high school. Second of all, trying to make this into like some fun love story.
They keep bringing up the Romeo and Juliet teenage, scenario to kind of pull at the heartstrings when there are actually teenagers today, 16 and 17-year-old girls today on the streets being picked up for tricks. And he is more concerned about the 18-year-old man who's offering $20 to his girlfriend, who he's really just exploiting. And his concern is to protect that 18-year-old man, not the 16-year-old girl he's exploiting or the 16-year-old girl that's on the street right now.
We, the citizens of California, we, the citizens of the United States, we've got to be very, very careful about who we we put in office. Because leadership isn't about personality. No, it isn't about being trendy. No, it isn't about pushing your own desires onto us, the public. True leaders exhibit balance, control, wisdom. They serve the people, not their own personal fantasies or social experiments. Too many of our so-called representatives are prioritizing their own sexual politics and ideologies. And to be quite frank with you, that should send chills down every spine of every parent, of every business owner, and every American who still believes in common sense.
Gavin Newsom passed that law saying that children could identify
the gender information.
They could identify with whatever gender they identify with without having to notify their parents.
Yeah.
Okay, bro. That's a fucking problem, bro.
That is a problem.
That's a huge problem, dog. I am for adults being happy and living their best life as adults. Now, you want to be whatever. I have gay friends, homie. I love them the same way. I have all kinds of friends, but they're adults and they can make those decisions.
Right.
I think children need to be protected and you need to leave them out of whatever shit you got going. You know what I'm saying? Children need to be children, and adults are adults. They can make that rational decision of what they want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Protect our children, homie.
Gavin Newsom. This man is a political chameleon, a snake in the grass. He shifts positions the way a weather vane shifts in a storm. One day, he's pretending to be a moderate. The next, he's pushing fringe agendas that most Californians want nothing to do. His actions and inaction are destroying, or you may even say have already destroyed, this state. He lies without blinking. He flip-flops without shame. Whatever will get him applause, whatever he thinks will get him votes or airtime, that's what he goes with. If we don't get people like him out of office, and soon, we'll have no one to blame but ourselves. It's time to stop being passive. It's time to hold these people accountable and hold them accountable every single day. Keep an eye on them. Vote, yes, but also speak up. Show up. Stay informed. Demand transparency. Because a slick haircut and a smooth speech mean nothing without real principles behind them.
We went from the sea levels are rising due to climate change to the sea levels are actually going to lower because the Antarctica's ice sheet has grown for the first time in decades. That's right, this article from SciTech Daily says that for the last decade, the ice in Antarctica has been melting, causing sea levels to rise, but to everybody's surprise, they've experienced a record-breaking increase in ice sheet overall mass, and that is going to cause the sea levels to lower this year. Which is pretty crazy because scientists and climate change alarmists have been saying for 15 years that would never happen. But for now, your beachfront property is safe because even though scientists are warning that this could be temporary, sea levels are actually going down this year by 0.3 millimeters. This is a graph from the article showing that from their study since 2002, the ice sheets in Antarctica have experienced an accelerated loss until 2021. And now you can see that uptick, which they're calling an abrupt gain, where the ice mass is actually growing.
And here's where it gets even deeper. Gavin Newsom, he's not really running the show, He's just a puppet. I know a lot of people say that, but he is a puppet. And like every puppet, he dances to the tune of his masters, his donors, and so on and so forth. From his policies to his climate rhetoric to his pandemic posturing, it's all a part of a bigger agenda, a global agenda. Because the climate change narrative, that's not just California. No, that's worldwide. Enter Bill Gates. Enter Klaus Schwab. Enter the World Economic Forum. These elites, who are unelected technocrats, are using crises like climate change, like pandemics and war, to push their version of what they call a great reset. What does that entail? Digital IDs, centralized banking, restricted movement, surveillance disguised as safety, all under the banner of climate justice and global equity. And they're not even hiding it. It's written in their documents. I know you've heard it, but they say things like, you'll own nothing, and guess what? You're going to be happy. Why? Because if you're not happy, you'll disappear. Let's be clear. None of this stuff has anything to do with saving a planet. The planet can take care of itself as it has always. It's about controlling us, the people. They want to tell you where you can go. They want to tell you what you can eat, how much you can drive. And most importantly, they want to tell you what you're allowed to think. It's not science. It's social engineering. And back to Gavin Newsom. He's just the California face of that global machine.
That's why for so long, even the idea that we are not limited and bounded by availability of, let's say, gasoline, petroleum, or coal. Coal now they won't allow us to use, right? As you know, in COP meeting in Dubai that just ended a day ago, they just physically declared themselves that we should stop using fossil fuel. Basically, petroleum, natural gas, and even coal. I mean, these people are insane now, really insane. I think they're going to harm more people with their own delusion. Plus, I always remember, these are people who actually don't represent the majority. No. Since when are this put up to vote? It's always about this minority, the tyranny of the few, always robbing the whole census, the good census of the good people. This is part of the reason why, as a scientist, I also speak out. Not afraid of anything except for just telling the truth. And I'm glad to have this opportunity to say such thing in your show. I've been working on this subject of CO2 causing climate change, or what other factors we can ask that cause climate to change, for close to since my postdoctoral year 1991, right? So it's about 32 years. And on this question, I think we have a very definitive answer. What we know now is CO2 ain't gonna cost nothing. It's not gonna change much of the climatic system, which means it won't change the speed of the hurricane. It won't change how fast or how frequent tornado form. It won't even actually make any difference to the polar bear population. It's all conservation issue, right, on polar bear. It won't even cause how much fish you don't catch, you know. It won't even cause what they call ocean acidification. It won't even cause this problem that they claim. It's all artificial. Everything they do, it's all dream from their model and the tyranny of the few again. That those few people just dream up this scary story that it just ain't true.
So at the end of the day, what is this all about? It's about power, but not just any kind of power. Not the kind of power that someone like a Jasmine Crockett is desiring. Someone like a security guard desires. No, this is about God-like power. These billionaires, these bureaucrats, they're not content with just influence. No. They want dominion. They want to play God. And the scariest part, they believe that they are God. They believe in their own lie. They want total control, not just over your finances, not just over your behavior, but over your heart, over your soul, and over your mind. And while they flood you and feed you with distractions, while they keep you glued to TikTok, sports, while they keep you terrified by headlines and numb with celebrity gossip, they're remaking the world in real time. If we do not wake up soon, we won't recognize what's left. America is already beginning to look like a third world country. There's lawlessness, inflation out of control, cultural decay, a broken system that no longer serves or recognizes the people at all. And if that's happening here, imagine what the rest of the world will look like. The next clip will show you just that. And I want you to watch it, not just with your eyes, but like really watch it, because this isn't just a broadcast. It's a battle cry. And with that, I'll leave you with this clip. I am Wolf Kage, and this is Wolf Kage Los Angeles. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because the truth is only dangerous if it stays hidden. Until the next time, peace.
I drove through downtown LA today, and what I saw shocked me to the core. LA is a sunken place. There were stray dogs everywhere roaming the streets. There was burned down, destroyed businesses on every corner. And there were city parks that were overtaken by homeless encampments. But what really shocked the soul was seeing the human suffering. People digging through garbage in the street, living in complete squalor. Third world, dehumanizing conditions you've never seen in America. Hey, but at least this guy's wearing a mask, right? Yeah. This is a video I took just driving down a random street in downtown LA. This is how people live in the City of Angels. This is the end result of policies that break people, dehumanize people, and destroy people. So, the question needs to be asked, who's to blame for all this? Who caused this? Well, Los Angeles has been a single-party run state for the last 70 years. Democrat policies that masquerade as human rights policies are actually cruel. They trod and destroy and erode the economic stability of a place and bring it to its natural conclusion, which is a third world style totalitarian Marxism where the average man or woman gets treated like garbage, gets treated worse than an animal, and the elite at the top in their mansions surrounding Los Angeles, inside of gated communities, guarded by men with guns, they don't ever get to see the real results of their policies. So that's why I filmed this video, so that everyone can see what's actually happening in Los Angeles, what the real world consequences and results are for horrendous, dehumanizing policies. So can the City of Angels be saved? Based on what I saw, it'll take a miracle.